I don't know. I think it's ready to start. I'm gonna give it a shot. The instructions said I'm ready. Let's see if this works. Can it really be that easy? Ready? Holy crap, dude. All right, guys, it's Friday, hence Fireball Friday. Have you seen it? Oh, hold on. We got these new shirts. Fireball Friday, making installs easier, one shot at a time. Every Friday here at the shop, we do Fireball Friday with the guys. So we made a shirt for it. It's on our website, tinworksfabrication.com. But that's not why we're here. I've taken another complete turn in my schedule. It's a very loose schedule. But I was gonna do the install video tonight. Not install video. Well, it is an install video. I was gonna do the interior tonight. And I'm just really close to starting this thing. So I figured the people's gonna wanna see this thing fire up more than they wanna see me put interior in it. But hopefully I get it fired up tonight. And then tomorrow I can film the interior install video. That would be ideal. So tonight we're gonna try to fire this thing up. It's super close. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, so let's check that out quick. I've been wiring, okay? I've been wiring for like 2.5 months, just kind of here and there, putzing around, dragging my feet, getting it done. But it is like probably 90% wired at this point, to the point to where I turned the key and the engine cranked over, and that's what really motivated me to switch gears and do this video instead. I got a couple more things I gotta check off the list before we can try to start this thing. I haven't done a Terminator X in many, many, many years, so we may struggle for a second. First of all, full disclaimer, I'm an idiot. I ordered the wrong Terminator X harness. I ordered it for an engine with like a throttle body intake, like an LS1 style. This is not that. So I did have to do some cutting on this harness. It is currently unloomed because I have had to take some of the connectors, shorten them up, resolder them. I want to make sure that everything is good and working before I come back in here and relume all this and make it nice and tidy. I do need to put my grounds on the back of my head, both heads. Ooh, fuel leaks. We need to check for fuel leaks. But the Terminator, I'm using the Terminator to turn on the fuel pump, so I need to get that set up yet. Antifreeze, I'm gonna run this thing without coolant in it for now. I just wanna start it for like a second. I just wanna hear it. Exhaust extension, I'll show you that. I've made that mistake in the past. I think that's pretty much it. I've got my battery. I got the battery back here. Final installed. I got 2 circuit breakers back here by the battery. So one is for like the Holly, all the power to the car, and the other one is just for the starter. So I've got 2 circuit breakers back here instead of doing mega fuses. I thought that would be nice. Oh, YouTube hasn't seen this yet, but I got this drive shaft. It's the coolest drive shaft you'll ever see in your life, okay? You go to our social media, Instagram, Facebook, you'll see a little bit closer view of this, but we had this drive shaft painted by a local restoration shop, and nothing does it justice until you see it. Stars and stripes. It's actually pearl paint with flake in it. They did a phenomenal job. It looks ridiculous. So we're gonna be taking this down to Southern Illinois Truck Showdown with no bed on it, so you guys can see our suspension products, and we figure who doesn't wanna come by the booth and see a American flag drive shaft? So we did it. So I got that in there. Also got all of the fuel line and stuff done, getting ready for the start. Got all of the fuel tank and everything wired. So I got a lot of the wiring done in here. Looking at it now, it looks pretty messy, but I just want to make sure everything's gonna work. Everything's ran. I've got a couple more things to do, like a flex fuel sensor, I got to figure out how to wire this Motion Raceworks turn signal switch. Really the only thing that's left in the cab is the things that I have to modify. I did use an American Auto Wire cab harness for this truck. Second time using their kit, it's awesome. I can't say enough good things about it. The wiring is way more clearly labeled than another brand that I've used almost specifically in the past. It's plug and play. The instructions are phenomenal. They lay out where everything needs to go, what it does. They have schematics. They have, you should do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The bags are labeled. The kit is awesome. I don't think I'll ever use anything else than American Auto Wire again. I'm very, very happy with the kit. I ended up mounting my Terminator. You can't see it because there's a bunch of AC ducts behind there. Oh, I have got the vintage air in and wired, stereo back in and wired. I've done some sound deadening back here because I'm getting ready to do that interior install. We got all new interior. This is just turning into like a quick update video all of a sudden, but we'll keep doing it. You can see under here, we got no suspension in here. We should be wrapping up that front suspension tomorrow, Saturday. I got a guy coming in. All we got left is a little bit of the lower A-arm and then a little bit of the upper A-arm, and the front suspension's completely done. We're hoping to take that to powder on Monday because we're coming down to the wire to just even make it into the booth at Southern Illinois Truck Showdown. We haven't done any shows this year. This one's pretty close, and we get to go down and visit our friends at Level 7 Motorsports, which is always a plus. I do also have to finish all this. This is gonna go to the headlights and stuff, so. But other than that, not too bad. Looks very messy, but it's okay. First thing, I'm gonna put my exhaust extension on, so let's go grab that and we'll talk about that quick. One thing that I need to do is I need to put this exhaust extension on. So all I did is grab a piece of tubing left over from another build, put my flange on there. Oh, I do have my headers on too. I got ultimate headers on there, but the O2 bung is like super close to the end of the collector. Now, my very first Terminator install, I don't know if this will help people or not. Maybe I'm an idiot. My very first one I didn't put any extension. I just wanted to get it started right, see if it ran. And guess what? It didn't run very well because the air would, from my understanding at the time when I talked to Holly, the air is basically recirculating back into the collector, so the O2 sensor was reading incorrectly. So you gotta have at least some exhaust on the car, on the O2 side. So I'm just gonna shove this guy on there, clamp it down. This is the slip style that I'm gonna be using on the exhaust. So the headers I've already made to where they'll accept this. I'm just gonna put this turn down on the one side so that the O2 can read correctly. So I'm gonna grab my clamp, I'm gonna get that done first. Let's get on their truck, get this extension on. All right. So for exhaust, we are going to be building our own exhaust. We've got these slip fit pieces from Stainless Works, maybe. But all the pipe and everything is coming from Vibrant. They always have really nice stuff. Can I get this on there? Well, it is significantly shorter, but we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, whatever. We'll deal with it then. This is just temporary, so that we can try to get her. I just want to hear it. Just get her fired up, just for a second. Oh, well, now I should have put that on first. Jeez. Oh. Don't scratch the powder. Okay. Give that a shot. If it doesn't work, we'll figure something else out. So we've got oil filled, rear end is filled. I got fuel in the gas tank. I put some power steering fluid in so it's not gonna be running that pump dry. Tried to bleed it a little bit, but wasn't getting much bubbles. I have to let it spin around for a second. Should I get this steering wheel out of the way? So I need to throw in some fuses, and then I think we can flip our circuit breakers on and see if that's gonna work. So again, American Auto Wire. I mean, look at these schematics. I mean, it's like wiring for dummies. I'm sure there's a book for that. This is what it feels like. They did a great job, but now I gotta put in all these fuses. So let's do that, and then we will turn the power on. See what happens. We should be ready to start. We'll go through our checklist again. I don't want to miss anything. This is what I've got for circuit breakers. These are super nice because they will pop and you just put them back on. So that one was, what was that one? That was this battery. So now we should have battery power. I'm nervous. I don't want to blow this thing up. I don't want to catch it on fire. So now it should crank over with the battery on. So I've got the key underneath the dash here because I've got this level 7 steering column in, which has no key. So temporarily, permanently, I don't know. I've got the key under there. So accessory, let's see if it'll crank. Will not crank. Oh, neutral safety switch, which I actually already rigged before. I don't have my clutch pedal line hooked up yet, so I have no pressure. So I'm just gonna jump that. Don't worry about that, we'll fix it later. Now, will it crank? So off, accessory, crank. Still no crank. What did I do wrong? I don't know. Everything. Nothing. Is my battery dead? Second circuit breaker on. Okay, ignition. See if that guy lights up. I don't see it lighting up. Oh, radio's on though. That seems not important. Apparently, will it crank now? Oh, it'll crank now. Oh, that was scary. Why does that crank now? Maybe because I don't have power to the key without the other one on, possibly. So it does crank. Should try it again. Got plenty of battery there. Okay, now we need to get the Terminator to turn on. These are good signs. But anyways, sometimes you forget to plug in your connector all the way, and then, you know, the thing doesn't turn on, and you're like, what the heck? And you check all the wiring, and everything's got power, and then you're like, oh, it's not plugged in. Now I'm nervous it's not going to be plugged in all the way. Let's walk through it together. Okay. Turn the key on. Run position. Let me get in here with everything. Okay. Look at that. It's on. Please run the wizard or load a calibration. Okay. Sure. Perform a TPS auto start. Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't done anything yet. Come on. Run position. Should apply power to the ECU. Home screen. Do not attempt to start the vehicle until you are told to do so. It's good. Choose the wizards icon. Wizards. Wonder if Harry's gonna jump out. Oh yeah, throttle body injection. I guess it does have a throttle body. Oh, the pen works so much better. Let's see. Terminator X 4150. I have 8 fuel injectors. Man, I hope I get this right. 4150, 8 fuel injectors. Number of cylinders, 8, baby. Cubic inches, let's do liters because everybody does liters now. 6.2, baby. Target idle speed, I don't know. Low, so we can hear that. Brian Tooley cam, right? Maybe like 650, that might be a little high actually. We'll try that. Camshaft specs, ooh. I have to get on the old interwebs here. I know. Come on, go down. Oh, there we go. We have a BTR stage 3 cam in it. And this is an LS3. It's gotta be the 279, 297. I'm gonna go with that one. She's a thumper, okay? Ignition type. Let's see how many tooth. I think this is a 58 tooth. 58. The old interwebs. Power adder, none. No. Map sensor. Map sensor, we're gonna run the Holly. Oh yeah, the internal 1 bar, which reminds me, I'm pretty sure I need to run that hose quick. Scan. Please cycle the ignition to complete the operation. I can do that. Off. On. Oh, fuel pump. I hear fuel pump. Fuel pump kicked on. That was weird. Perform a TPS auto set before startup. Take a rag out. Nothing in there. So, let's see. TPS auto set. Are we filming? Yep, we sure are. Make sure ignition is on and engine is not started. That is true. Slowly press the pedal to the floor, then slowly release. Do this twice. Okay, I'm just gonna do this by hand. I mean, my throttle pedal is hooked up. I'm just gonna do this like that. Slowly press pedal to the floor, then slowly release. Do this twice. So once, closed. Twice. Next. Ooh, successful. Done. Now what? I don't. Is that it? Let's go back to the instructions here. Now what? Oh, feels so real. Before starting the vehicle, verify that all sensors are reading properly. Turn the key off and cycle it back on. At this time, you should hear the fuel pump come on and run for 5 seconds, which it did, but we can do it again. Check for fuel leaks. Yeah. Home screen, select the monitor tab. All right, I'm gonna cycle this one more time. Off, on, fuel pump is kicked on. Definitely hear that. I don't see any leaks. Select the monitor's screen. You will see a screen called initial startup. Yeah. Select this. With the key on and the engine off, sensors should read as follows. Engine RPM. It's not running. So that's correct. Map sensor should read between 95 and 102. We have 98. Throttle position sensor, 0%. That's right, because we're not giving it any. Coolant temp sensor, 71 degrees. Sounds about right. I got the air on in here. It's like 100 some degrees today. Battery voltage, 12 volts. Everything's reading properly. The vehicle should be ready to be started. I don't know. I think it's ready to start. I'm gonna give it a shot. The instructions said I'm ready. So let's see if this works. Can it really be that easy? Ready? Trying. I'm gonna prime the fuel system again. Holy cow, we got ourselves a race truck. Holy crap, dude. That thing is loud. Well, let's open headers. That was super easy. I think it didn't want to fire up at first because, I mean, it had no fuel in the lines, obviously. I haven't even set the fuel pressure regulator. Ah, it runs. That's wild. It sounds so good. It had a really high idle. I'm guessing that's like a cold start. I don't know, should we try this again? How much battery do I have left? Yeah, sure, let's try it again. That was cool. Here we go, key on, fuel pump. We got ourselves a runner, dude. That's so sick. Whew. That was stressful. Wow, that's awesome, guys. We got that thing running. That was super easy. And I am no electrical guy or engine guy. More of a fab guy, okay? So, what's next? I'm not sure. We did it. 8-ball runs. There's still more things to do on it though. Before this video ends, I think that we should get the engine harness wrapped up. We know it works. Everything I spliced is good. It is getting late here, so I'm gonna let this engine cool off overnight, come back in tomorrow morning, and we'll get the engine harness all unplugged, off, and get it all tidied up. That should be it. 8-ball runs. So excited, huge milestone. I can't wait to keep going on this thing tomorrow. We'll see you in the morning, guys. All right, well, next day didn't happen. Saturday was full of new part cutting. It was a wild Saturday. So Sunday, running a day behind here. Was hoping to be moving on another portion, but that happens. So last thing I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to I'm just going to unplug the Terminator X that's on the engine. Now that we know that it runs, I'm going to unplug it all. I'm not going to take it all the way out because it is ran in the cab and it's pretty much done in there. So I'm going to loom it outside the cab in the engine bay, but I wanted to kind of show you what I like to use here. So I like this split loom. You can get it in 1/8, quarter, 3/8, 1/2 inch. I don't think 5/8, 3/4, 1. What do we have here? This is 3/4. So I've been just getting this off of Amazon, Alex Tech. It's the same stuff as the painless. Much cheaper though. I usually use the painless split loom, but I tried this out a couple months ago. It's the same thing. So usually a stickler for brand names, but I've been trying to venture out and try some other stuff. So this stuff is actually pretty nice. So what I do is I wrap all my wiring that's exposed in this loom. Is this the same size? I get 2 different packaging. 10 foot of, what is, oh, that's 1 inch. That's 3/4 inch. It looks very similar. Anyways, so anything that's exposed in the engine bay, running down the frame rail, anything that comes like out of the dash and plugs into something, I like to loom it with this stuff. It just makes it look a lot nicer, cleaner. You don't notice the wires as much. I hate that plastic corrugated stuff. Stop using it. It was cool back in the early 2000s when you wanted to put red on your red Cavalier. This stuff is awesome. This is a cloth electrical tape. So I'll show you more on the truck, but this is just cloth electrical tape. It's called Tessa tape. So I use this on the ends. Instead of having a raw end, I will take the Tessa tape and I will neatly wrap the end and just go over the edge ever so slightly so you don't see any frayed. And then this will tie up the end and make it look clean and finished. I also use this Tessa tape on any joints, anywhere where I gotta like come out with another loom to go somewhere else, like a sub harness or something. This stuff is nice. You can keep it nice, tight, unwrinkly, and it works really well. So it's kind of like a factory type of tape. Tessa tape. So that's what I like to use on all my joints and ends and stuff. I'd really like to use like heat shrink. I think that looks the best, but without taking off like factory connectors and stuff, sometimes it's hard to do the heat shrink stuff, but I do think the heat shrink looks the nicest on the end. So this is great, works in all scenarios, looks original factory OE, which I like. These are the 2 coil pack harnesses. This is how they come from Holley with this electrical tape on them. So all I'm doing right now is I've taken them both off and I'm wrapping them with this Tessa tape. So you can kind of see how the ends are. I think it looks better than the shiny electrical tape. This stuff gets sticky and nasty over time too. So I'm just gonna take a quick couple minutes, cut these extra tags off, get it wrapped in Tessa tape. And then we are ready to throw the harness back on the engine. And after we throw the harness back on, I guess we'll see if it still runs. If it does, video's over. If it doesn't, video's still over. So I've got this harness done. Everything's wrapped up, ready to go and get routed again. Back here I did do a couple different, several of these plugs. They're just so short it's hard to bring them all out in one trunk, which is usually what I do. So now it goes in the firewall. I need to get some heat shielding. I did take some of this heat shielding off that Holley sends with it. I was thinking I could get this plug off. I don't have the tool to unplug this because I was gonna put like this really nice heat shielding over it. And I may have to get a tool to get these pins out of this plug, but this is just so tucked down in these headers, it's a real heat issue. So I'm gonna get that all tucked back here behind the engine, and yeah, be pretty good and ready to go.